How do you handle McJohns who keeps asking questions upon their questions and keeps taking it so narrow that it's not valuable to the audience? How do you handle someone like that?
I honestly do exactly what you just said. Say, hey, John, so I'm going to take it a level further. A lot of times those questions that they're asking, I've already answered before on my YouTube channel. So what I'll say is, hey, Johnny McJohn, I love that question. That comes up quite a bit. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. I have a video specifically catered to you on my YouTube channel. I'll send it to you and you can check it out. And honestly, that guerrilla style kind of like hand-to-hand combat has been successful for me both on Clubhouse and on Facebook groups. But that's why I love YouTube. I can record a video. It's there forever. And people keep asking the same questions. Here's a YouTube video. And that kind of guerrilla, again, that hand-to-hand style combat has really been effective in growing my channel because I'm addressing those specific frequently asked questions.
Love that. I mean, it's absolutely critical because you get that McJohn dude who just keeps asking questions upon question upon question upon question. At some point, you have to take them off. And here's what I do because I don't have a robust YouTube channel as of yet. I'm building mine up. I will basically say, hey, Vanessa or McJohn, I'll say, hey, please. We have a few questions that we have to get through. We're closing the room in the next 15 minutes. We have a few more people we need to get to. I am willing to take your conversation offline. Please shoot me a DM and I will personally answer your question. But to your point, if you have that YouTube video, it's a win right there.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been effective because they still feel that personal. And sometimes they'll come back with an additional question. You're like, guess what? I've got another YouTube video for that question. Or that's a very, very good time to hop on a quick 15-minute call with them. Okay. And I just want to encourage everyone. I've been talking to a lot of these big podcasters, these big creators. That is what it's about when you're small. And it's an advantage. It's that ability to go hand to hand. You can, create lots of like we're doing here. You can get on video calls with people, phone calls. I've really put a focus on that this year and trying to get on personal calls with people too, because it just develops that relationship. It builds that know, like, and trust. It takes it to the next level. But just kind of bring it back to Clubhouse. At the end of the day, your job as a host, as a moderator, is to keep the conversation going, make sure everyone has a chance to speak. And if one person is just hogging the mic, sometimes they don't even realize it. You got to keep it moving. I want to give you one more quick takeaway that I think is important, and I think this is often overlooked. I actually heard this from Michael Stelzner. He said, every once in a while during your room, just ask all the moderators to click, to clap, to click their mic button to see who's there. Do people come? Do they leave? That's also a good way of clearing the stage, asking people to tap. And what you can do if you know all the moderators are active in there and are there, as you're processing questions from the audience, and this is something you brought up at the very beginning of our conversation, when you're going to have experts in various fields. When a question comes up and someone says, hey, how can I run paid ads for my podcast? I can say, that's a great question. Julian over here is not very outspoken. And he's maybe a little bit more quiet. He doesn't want to compete for the mic against all these egos that are on stage. Julian, I'll say, hey, Julian is an expert in paid Facebook ads. Julian, would you do me a favor and answer this question about how to properly run Facebook ads against their podcast, right? So I'll reframe it, direct it towards a certain person, and then, again, ask that question directly to that expert in that field.
I absolutely love that. I think that tactic that I saw you do in your rooms, I saw it on one of your Saturday rooms. I started implementing that. So thank you for putting that out there and putting out those good vibes, because that is a tactic that I'm starting to use, is by helping some panelists who aren't the most talkative and aren't the most outspoken and giving them and holding space for them. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, yeah, because some of the quiet creators and quiet people can give the best insight. You got to give them a chance to speak. If they take a time out of their day to be on your stage, it's almost your obligation, I feel like, to give them plenty of opportunity to speak.
Absolutely. And we have some of those on our stages too. So it is cool to be able to handle that and give them the opportunity. This has been great, Mark. My last bit of information is, and I share this all the time. It doesn't matter what channel you're on. Be intentional of why you're doing what you're doing, right? And be thoughtful about what you're doing. So if you are going to start modding on Clubhouse and you're going to start putting rooms together, be deliberate as to why you're doing it, and start working with the community and start working with great moderators. I now can call Mark a friend, and that's great, and that's what it's been provided for me.
You're making me all misty-eyed here. Appreciate that, Julian. So, Julian, I love this strategy session, and I would encourage everyone out there that's listening to the podcast, you're either listening to it on my show, The After Hours Entrepreneur, or you're listening to it on Julian's show, Growth Hack with Papi Digital. And we'd love to hear, what are your thoughts on this format? We're trying something a little bit different, kind of like a live strategy session as opposed to the regular interview style. So make sure that you hit us up and let us know what you thought. We'd love your feedback.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode. I've got several other episodes right here for you. Smash one of these videos to make sure that you don't miss out on the tips, tools, and tactics of industry experts. Let's take that side hustle full time. Smash one of these links.